Hello everybody, today we are reviewing the Smraza kit. Sorry, the audio got a little out of sync because my battery died. So for the first minute or so I'm just going to be doing a voiceover and then we'll switch back over. So in the video you can see I have the s22 kit. I've previously bought the similar kit from Smraza called the s17 kit, and the s22 kit has over 40 different items. I believe it has 46 to be exact. There's 40 on the front and 6 on the back. And this is just a great starter kit. It has a huge variety of items, and I will go into detail on each item. Here we have a CD that has code, has data sheets, and it has all the libraries you need. I found this uses no needed extra code if you're using Arduino 1.06, and it works great for anything. Smraza has a lot of good software that they use, and it's super helpful, especially when you have no idea what you're doing with Arduino. They have all the sample code worked out for you, and they have everything you will need to get going and get all your connections configured properly. So now I'm going to take you into the actual breakdown of the box and all the different items in it, and I will stop doing a voiceover and switch over to the actual microphone I was wearing at the time. Okay, so when you open the kit, I've obviously opened it and tested a bunch of stuff and played with everything, but I've put it all back in the box so you guys can get an idea of what you see. So you get a nice little tray divider, but first I want to talk about the box. This is a really nice box, super high grade plastic, but it has little finger grips on the tops and the bottoms so you can easily carry it around. Super handy if you are moving around from class to class or project to project. You can just grab this little box and you're good to go. So I'm going to try and go down the list as best as we can. So we've got, let me go ahead and open this tray up here. So we will start with, we'll start on number 40 and work our way to number 1. So breadboard. This is a standard size breadboard. Perfect for using this kit. Next we have some headers, which I've used some of. And I put them back in here. They're somewhere in here. Let me pull some of this stuff out here. There, as you can see, there is just a ton of stuff. So I'm going to pull it all out because I don't think I put the headers that I used back in the box. Nope, I sure didn't. Okay, well, it does come with a set of headers. This is what they look like. They're long-sided on one side, they have a plastic splitter, and then they're short on the other side. Standard headers for any kind of electronics. Next on the list, we have the 4-bit 7-segment display, and that's actually going to be inside here. So this is your 4-bit 7-segment display. Then we also have a 7-segment display by itself, a bigger one, as you can see the size, along with a IC chip. This is a 74HC595 chip right here. This is good for driving these displays. That's why they're all in one box together. And then also, while I have it here, this is the 8x8 matrix, item number 3 on the list. This is good. I'm not sure what color it is because it doesn't say. I haven't actually powered this one on, so I'll have to double check, but I'm sure it's either like a green or a white. Let's open it. It might say on the back what color it is. I can't remember what color the one that was from the last kit. Oh, no labels. Okay. So, 8x8, oh, there's a model number on the side here. HLM1588BR. Whatever that is. Okay, anyway. So, a 8x8 matrix. Cool for making little emojis or something. Alright, so that, next on the list, let me find our bag of switches. So, next is a bunch of switches. So we have a potentiometer. Doesn't say what rating it is. I'm sure you can find this all in the description, but some people like to see it in person. These are the tactile buttons, And what's actually nice about these, and I thought this was a cool touch, because a lot of people like to use tactile buttons, but often they don't have any kind of caps. So these actually have little yellow keycaps. So if you wanted to, you could put these little tiny keycaps on there, and now you have a tactile clicky button. So that's pretty cool. And you get 4 of those with matching caps. So there's your 4 with caps. Oh, sorry, I can't count. There's actually 4 now with 4 caps. And then here, put these away. You also have your potentiometer. Now this is obviously can be panel mounted, and they include the washer and hex nut. The only thing it doesn't include is a knob. If you have a Radio Shack near you, you can pick up a cheap knob. They're about $1 for 2 or 3 of them. And you got a nice potentiometer. Next, you've got 2 different buzzers. So this is item 24 and 23. So the one covered, this is a active buzzer, and this one is a passive buzzer. Now I don't know the difference. Like you can see, they look identical. I think one maybe just works when it wants. I don't know. There's clearly a difference because one is sealed on the bottom and one is not sealed on the bottom. So some difference there. I'll have to do some research on those. I've never actually played with buzzers. Next on the list, we have an ultrasonic sensor. Somewhere in this pile. There we go. So one ultrasonic sensor. These are good for distance. So as it gets closer, beep, further away. You can also use these as like a tape measure, which is kind of cool. Don't know the accuracy, so I wouldn't trust it if you're doing professional jobs, but if you have a robot, you can say, okay, when you get to 5 inches before a wall, stop and turn and keep going. I've actually used these before. Those are actually pretty fun. Let's see, next on the list, we have some things we've missed down on here. Those are the really silly stuff. Resistors, LEDs in 3 different colors, including one that's a multicolor, and that's actually in a different pack. So you get one RGB LED along with red, green, and yellow, or no, red, yellow, and blue LEDs, along with whatever resistors. And then in this little pack, you get a couple different things. So in this pack, we've got item 17, the flame module, or flame sensor, which is this black looking LED. I'm not sure how that one works. I've never had a flame sensor. And then this small transistor looking piece is a LM35 temp sensor. You also have a IR remote sensor and a tilt ball switch sensor. Very good for stuff like this. You actually get 2 of those. You get 3 photoresistors, so you can detect sunlight. That's all in that little pack. Let's see. Okay, IR remote. There's your IR remote. Let's see. It should come with a battery. There's a little tab. I'm going to say there's a battery in there. So nice little remote. It can obviously do key presses. It can also do joystick functions. So if you want to make a little robot, there's no motor in this kit. Well, there's a stepper motor, but it's not a fast motor. So you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, 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 whatever you want. Nice little remote. Jumping over to the back really quick, we'll knock out some of these items. We got a 6 AA battery to 2.1 millimeter jack. Battery holder to power whatever device. What else we have? USB cable, USB to USB type A. This is actually a fun one. This is a little micro water pump. So obviously this is submergible, and you have a tube that comes off of here. That tube is not included, and then the water gets sucked in here and right out the top. So actually in one of the demos you can build a automatic watering system. So in the kit they give you a moisture sensor, which I'll show in a minute, and you can tell it when you hit a certain point, turn the water on. We got some jumper wires. These are just wires with jumper pins on them, and a piece of hair, probably from me. I doubt it was from the manufacturer. We've got some female to male jumper wires. There's 10 here. I've peeled 3 of them off. That's why there's only 7 currently. Super handy as well, especially when you want to connect sensors, because then you can plug in your 3 wires here. Boom, 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 just like that. And then you can plug your 3 wires into your Arduino board, and these don't have to be sitting on top of each other. And the reason for that is because when you put this on the Arduino board, the pins don't always line up. Right now I'm connected to pin 8, 9, and 10, and it's not going to do anything for the relay because the relay needs power, ground, and a signal pin. So that's when these little guys come in handy, because then I can actually plug these in. Oh, sorry. Plug these guys in, and then I can go here and say boom, oops, if I can plug them in, there we go, boom, boom, and boom. You get the point. And then now it's not directly connected. Well, it is directly connected, but they're not next to each other. Okay. What else? CD we already talked about, water pump, USB cable, all those. Okay, back's done. So now I'm going to flip back to the front. So we talked about the remote, we talked about all the little temperature sensors and stuff. There is an accelerometer module. So let me see if I can find that in one of these packages here. There it is. So accelerometer, this is good, left, right, forward, backwards. Any kind of phone uses these nowadays. You could use one of these if you wanted to make a little robot, like a self-balancing robot. You could say, okay, always keep this at true and then adjust the motors accordingly. So if this starts to go forward, then the motors will calibrate and bring it back level. So this board is always level. Good little accelerometer there. Next we have an analog gas sensor. So this would be good like if you're trying to build like maybe an Internet of Thing project. So when you're away from your house and your water heater goes out, like the pilot light goes out, this will detect for gas. And if it detects enough gas, then you could have your relay module here trip a I wouldn't have it trip the pilot light, I would have it trip the main gas shutoff. So maybe have an electronic gas shutoff, so it would shut the gas off to your water heater. That way your house doesn't blow up. Pretty smart idea. So analog gas sensor, a PIR movement sensor, which is this guy right here. And what this is this detects heat. So they use these common in alarms and a lot of systems like that. And they work really well. When it boots up, it calibrates itself, so it detects any existing heat, and then when more heat is added, it trips. So definitely when you arm this, make sure that there's nothing in the room. That's why they're used for alarms, because normally you want to keep people out of your house, not keep the people inside stuck inside. So good little sensor with that one, pretty helpful. Next on the list, we have the relay module, which I talked about. Uses 5 volts ground and a signal wire. It can control up to 10 volts at 250 AC, or 10 amps at 125 AC, or 10 amps at 30 volts DC, 10 amps at 28 volts DC. So basically anything under 250 volts AC at 10 amps and anything under 30 volts DC at 10 amps. You don't have to use the voltages they're telling you here. It's just what the actual relay is rated to. This relay is made by Songle. I don't know if that's a good brand or not. And it has just 3 wires. So one's a common, one's normally open, and one's normally closed. So if you want your circuit to always stay on, you want to use the normally closed one. If you want your circuit to only stay on when you tell it, you'll use the normally open one. Next on the list, we've got a joystick module. So this is one little one here. So if you really did want to make your little RC car, then you could use a module like this, and you can actually build a little control that you can control just with the joystick, just like your PlayStation and Xbox remotes. Next we've got the garden soil sensor, which is actually pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and open this one up just because it's pretty neat, and I've never seen one before. So this goes into your plant, and then you have a wire that comes off of it. Again, more of these fancy little guys. And they give you 6 wires with this, because obviously you need 6. You need 2 to the sensor, boom boom, and then 4 to your controller, to your Arduino. And this just uses ground, data in, data out. It's actually a data 0 and analog 0. So it's an analog signal and a digital signal, and then a ground and a 5-volt line. And then this just connects right to here, which goes into your potted plant. And ta-da! Check out the sample code for how to set this up. I definitely do like the sample code. Smraza has definitely one of the best databases that they give you included. I've bought some third-party made Arduino boards, and the support is horrible. Smraza definitely has their stuff together. Next on the list, we have a temperature module. And this is actually an interesting one. That's why I wanted to do this really good review, and I want to be very thorough, is on the product review page, because I read reviews just like anybody else. This item in this review for the S22 model, this item had like melted on the user, and so I wanted to make sure that I tested this sensor just because I wanted to see if it was really just poor quality, because I had pretty good luck on the first kit. This little guy here, this model is the S17 model. As you can see, this is the S17, and so I wanted to make sure that, because this also came with the same sensor, and so I wanted to make sure that it wasn't, maybe it was just a manufacturer defect, but I've had good luck with the item, and so I don't know. So if the other guy who did a product review on this is watching this video, call Smraza. Maybe you just have a bad module, because electronics are not perfect. Okay, so there's the temperature module, and I've tested these. All the ones that have opened, I've tested so far. I haven't had a chance to test everything else. What else? RFID key. So here's a little key tag, and this actually comes with a second part. This is a key card. RFID, very similar, what you find at most businesses, badge in, badge out kind of thing. So these are going to be fun to play with. I also have the shield, so this is an RFID shield. Now, one thing I want to note, on some of these connectors, the pins aren't soldered onto it. So actually with this kit here, they give you 2 sets of pins. They give you right angle pins, and they give you straight pins. So depending on your application, you can either use the right angle pins and have this go straight up, or you can use the straight pins and have it go flat. On maybe if you have like a board you want to, you can use your breadboard, and you can have it either sit this way or you can have it sit this way. So probably for what I'm going to use it for, I'm going to keep it flat up against something, so I'm going to want to use the straight pins. So then that way I can use my fancy breakout here, and I can make my own little ribbon cable that will plug into my main Arduino board. So there's the RFID shield. Let me put that back in here. And what I like is a lot of these come with electrostatic bags. Oh, I think they're electrostatic. They might not be. I don't know. This is electrostatic, I think. Anyway, back to the good stuff. All right, 1-stepper motor. This is the stepper motor here. This is a 5-wire stepper motor, and it also comes with the driver board. So this has the pins already soldered onto it, and this actually fits right on top of the Arduino. Or not. I thought it did. Maybe it doesn't. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be wide enough. Okay. So this might be good for the breadboard then. I think that's kind of the idea. Yeah, this is designed for the breadboard. So this sits on your breadboard, and then you have your pins plug into that. And then here is your motor with the connector already on it. So this actually is designed to plug right into this board. So that's pretty helpful. Next we've got a servo. This is just a mini servo. I don't know if I'd call it, this is called a micro servo 9G is the model. This is an SG90 micro servo. 3-wire, works with Arduino, use a servo library, no issues. Next, I forgot one. We have a real-time clock module. So this is good if you want your device to have a consistent time, because this actually has a coin cell battery right on it, so it actually will keep the time accurately. Next, we already talked about the 8x8 matrix. We have an LCD, so this is just a standard 16:2 LCD, 16:2, and pretty simple. Just use the breakouts for this. You can either use these and put them all, put this whole thing on the breadboard and ding 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 ding. You only need about 6 or 7 pins, I think. But I know there's a company who also makes like a breakout, so you can actually control these over USB. So that's kind of cool. I believe it's just called like LCD to USB or something. And it's just an add-on board that you solder right to the back. And it has a USB plug, so your computer can actually control this. Alright, and last but not least, the star of the show, this is the Arduino board. This is very, 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 very nice. Works with Arduino 1.06, well that's at least what I tested it on, without any addition of drivers or libraries or anything. I just plugged it in and it worked. So these guys have gotten their stuff down and they're either using the same USB chip or what, but recognizes as an Arduino Uno in the computer and uploads and programs with no issues. One other thing I wanted to add about the box is they give you additional dividers. And so as you can see, these have the finger grooves cut in them for this. So these actually fit right into the box. And what this gives you is this gives you more dividers. So you have these three, and then you have this nice top lid. Boom. Boom. So there you go. So if you're tired of, if you just want a cool case, then there you go. Otherwise, you can get a cool case plus all these awesome electronics. But yeah, that's it. If you found this helpful, definitely hit the helpful button, hit the like button if you're on YouTube, because I'm going to post it on Amazon and YouTube and my own site. So hopefully you found this helpful. There'll be a link in the description if you want to buy this item. And I'm super happy that I was able to get this kit, because this has a lot of unique parts and pieces that I'm going to try and use on some upcoming projects. So thank you for watching.